We back.
We back. We back, and it's going live. We are live. And this is super exciting. We're in a competition that we haven't been able to be in because, we haven't won. And I don't know. This is exciting. Some people aren't excited. Some people are very much treating this like the community shield and saying we need to be resting and worrisome. But you're only in this competition if you win the Champions League. So I don't know. I just feel like we should take it as seriously as possible without obviously hurting people because we have a match on Saturday, plenty to go on. We still have KDB, yada yada. Hi, hello. I guess I'm Crunk. This is Sharpie. I just kind of got into a monologue and didn't do the beginning things. Hi, hello, YouTube, FanFest Live, Twitter, all those things. I hope you guys are well. Uh, Sharpie, how's it going, friend?
Things are good, man. Yeah, excited for this matchup. Like you were saying, it's the first time we've ever done it. I've seen, Liverpool do it. I've seen Real Madrid do it. I've seen Bayern play in it. So like, it's pretty cool to finally, get a chance to add to the trophy case.
And that's exactly what it is. It's adding to the trophy case, especially with the chance to just add on to our treble. I just want to be able to say in 12 months, we have won this many trophies. And then, because if you say that, you just start from the first trophy we won, which was what, the FA
P-
Cup?
well, technically PL. Remember
Oh,
that guy?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So we can, if we go from May to May, can you just imagine all of the
It could
trophies we
be
could touch?
5 trophies. Technically, it could be 6 because you have today, you have Club World Cup in the winter, and then we could get back. Oh yeah, no, it would be 5. Yeah, because we already won. Oh no, because you didn't win Carabao last year.
No, we didn't really care about.
It could be all 6. Yeah.
So like we could do the the dang, what is it called? Anyway, I was the
Double.
yes, something, right? The quintuple double, the
Yeah,
treble.
like the quintuple. We 6,
Oh,
7, yeah,
oh
something like
man, but
that.
let's pull up this lineup because it
Do
is
it.
a tasty little ting. Uh excuse me. I'm not shocked to see Kovacic on the cover of it. We got Ederson, Walker, which I'm shocked by Ederson. So, like, shocked. Walker, Akanji, Vardiol, Ake, Rodri, Kovacic, Foden, Palmer, Grealish, and Halan. Palmer's getting a start. Foden in midfield. What are you thinking, Sharps?
Well, yeah, I would say this: the Ederson thing makes sense only because if you read, some of the rumors coming out about
I
Bayern
know. Mm-hmm.
contacting Ortega Moreno
Mm-hmm.
to be their keeper, as they looked abysmal um, versus Leipzig. I think that makes sense. Now, is that the only reason? I'm not sure because it's a goalkeeper right injury isn't likely, but but yeah, the back four it looks like a straight up classic 4-3-3. Um, I mean, you could technically, yeah, because we know that Ake and Walker normally don't invert. Um, I don't believe he'll put that on Vardiol in the first start he's ever had for City to be an inverted midfielder. So yeah, Rodri holding Kovacic and Foden doing the creative things. Um, if you know Kovacic and you watched him, like his ball possession, his carrying is incredible. Rodri was talking about Foden being the best in the club in between the lines and on the turn. But I'm excited for Cole Palmer because we knew that Bernardo Silva didn't make the trip, and Grealish didn't start last week either. So you really have 1, 2, 3, 4 changes from the matchup versus the opening PL season versus Burnley on Friday. So that's about right what Pep normally does. It's never going to be 9 changes, right? But we got 4 quality starters coming in. I think if we want to take a look at the bench, I was surprised to see Diaz even listed, only because like we know he can't play by rule, right? So him to be there is interesting, but I'm sure on the team just for what's the word? A little bit of vibes, a little bit of encouragement. Stones being on the bench is huge. Coming back, Laporte. We've seen the rumors today of him going to or Al Nasser and Man City agreeing for him to leave. Now it's up to the player, as most people have said. Alvarez, Gomez, Perron, Bob, Lewis, McAtee. So I feel like we have the squad to win. Let's just be real. We have the people we need. You only got to score one. They got to score 0. But I feel confident. Are you on mute? I can't hear you. Oh.
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry, I was clearing my throat and I forgot to undo it because I was looking at stuff. I think it's hilarious how McAtee, Ortega, and Laporte are all rumored to potentially be leaving, and they're on this team. So it'll be interesting to see. And then you added the whole Diaz thing. He might not be quite ready. That's potentially 4 people on here who technically can't touch. I mean, not technically, but possibly can't touch the pitch because they are tied to other. But I mean, I guess Laporte played the other day and he was still rumored to be leaving. Anything's possible, but it's still funny how I think there are 4 people on this on the bench that technically, again, I said who probably shouldn't play, and then we got Carson, so that's 5. Well, it's just like who on this bench is coming on. Like, I really hope I see Phillips. I really love to see Gomez, Perone, Bob,
I mean,
Lewis.
you got 5, right? You got Phillips, Stones,
Oh yeah,
Alvarez, Perone. Lewis could come on if needed, like if things aren't working, and Pep wants to make a switch to get some more possession. Because do you have the Sevilla lineup ready?
yes sir. It is loading right now.
Yeah, because that's going to be a very interesting battle. Especially shouts to you and Steve from Manchi's Army.
Yeah.
So I felt like I knew Sevilla inside and out in that 30 minutes, which is incredible. And because of what he said, I know this is a 4-3-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back 4 from Jesus, Bade, number 6. I won't mess up the name. Acuna as a left back. So you have 2 older but super experienced, players on the wings, on the fullback. In midfield, you got Rakitic, Oliver Torres, and I'm guessing Jordan, or maybe Ocampos. Yeah, Ocampos, Rakitic, and Jordan in the 3. So Rakitic as a holding midfield, I feel like he can be got at. He's not the most athletic.
I mean, honestly, most of this team can get got at. Like Rakitic, the way that City hold their possession. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just think it's gonna be tough. What were you gonna say?
No, you got to keep going. Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, just so much age on this team. They're going even Lamella. He once was this like dynamic, athletic player, but between age and injuries, I don't think he's that man anymore. Steve did say Nesri is he is that dude. He's got a lot of speed. He'll love to see what they're gonna do. But I looked up like the height of the center backs for Sevilla. They're not the biggest dudes. They're all like 6 foot, 6'1".
I mean, it's a recipe for what we do, right? It's the domination of, it was some former player who was like, maybe it was Gary Neville, who basically was like City now can beat you. It wasn't him, sorry, somebody else. But they were like, City can beat you both ways. They have the technical ability to outclass you. They always had that, but now they have the physical side.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're looking at that back 4, not just the center backs. Like Jesus Navas and Acuna are very tiny.
Yes.
Like, for man versus Ake and Walker, advantage. Like midfield, Rodri, advantage over everybody there. Now, and Nesri is tall. I think the counter is going to be their thing. Mm-hmm. They could definitely sit back in like a 4-5-1 maybe, right? If they don't want to, straight up attack us with a high line of pressing, and just kind of sit in the mid block and see if we can create. Because you're testing to say without Bernardo Silva, without Kevin De Bruyne, what you're going to do. And then I would counter and say, hey, we still got Phil Foden and Jack Grealish. I feel like we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like the balls can get to Holland. Set pieces are always going to be great, a great advantage. So I like our chances, and I appreciated Steve again from Monty's Army, just being real when he gave his score prediction. I was like, "Thank you. This is a sensible man. Like I respect that. I respect that logic. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't get up here and start bloviating like, yeah, we're gonna scare, we're gonna go crazy, and we're gonna shock and awe him like we did Man U, because he knows we're not united, and that's really what this is. City is not united. This will not go the way that it did in the Europa League. So I feel extremely confident today.
Yeah, maybe it's just because I welcome our guests in so nicely, but even when I recorded with Kendall for the Newcastle episode for this weekend, she was even she didn't, but also that's not really her energy to like talk smack, or even she was very nice and respectful and not to like get ahead of herself. But yeah, it was very interesting. And then even, well, Burnley couldn't say anything. It'll be interesting when we have like the guests that are Uniteds and the Chelseas and see if they. But also, I feel like that's kind of what you do in the top six, because that's what I do. I just say we're gonna win. I don't know how we're gonna win and what we're gonna win, but I just say we're gonna win. But at least our teams have, the treble, and then they have all of these examples of them doing so. But in the first half of the season, anything is possible. We could easily, this match could go to extra time and then penalties and we lose. Like, that's not what happens. And it, like I said in the Breaking Bread episode with Steve, Sevilla hasn't won this until 2000 since 2006, but they have been in this competition basically every other year for the last decade. Chances aren't great. This team of theirs isn't strong, which is why I'm shocked Pep put out such a strong squad. I'm surprised I'm not seeing Rico Lewis. I I'm wondering what he saw, and I feel like a few of the people, they might come off early. It's to try to help get some of them in shape for the season and stuff like that. I guess that could be next, because this is what we like to do. Is Are we over or under 72-minute sub?
72 is a good number. I'm gonna say under, only because we play on the weekend versus we play on Saturday versus Sunday.
Yes.
That's not having that extra that Pep was rightfully campaigning for and frustrated we didn't get of rest is important. When you look at, okay, you need Holland versus Newcastle's back four. You want, a fresh. I mean, Grealish didn't play the first week, but between Holland and Foden, I would love to be like, hey, we're up 3-0. Let's get them off. Bring in Alvarez, bring in a Phillips or Peroni or somebody in the midfield, and like, let's just see this game out. So I'm hoping, I'm gonna hope before 72. But knowing Pep, knowing Sevilla, if they keep it tight, then we're not gonna just switch it up just to do it. And I think as a fan, like, you also realize, like, hey, we've done this before. Like, these players have played Wednesday, Saturday games. It's not ideal, but we've done it. Saturday being a night game also helps, because it's not an early kickoff, so that gives us a couple more hours. But and we know Newcastle is what they are. But if you see this lineup, you think, okay, we care about this match. He didn't do a 7-man rotation, which he could have. He could have rolled out like one of those FA Cup matches early on where you see 7 or 8 backups starting, and we win somehow. But no, he said, no, let's go for this. Let's treat it with the respect it deserves. You don't underestimate Sevilla. I think Pep even said in his presser, right? He saw the United game. United didn't. He said, like, United didn't play well, and like Sevilla got them. So players are aware of that as well. And I respect the fact that we are not going to disrespect this opponent. They've won too much in these competitions, in Europe, to take them lightly.
Come on, City. Rico Lewis scored against Sevilla. That's giving me a lot of calm. Okay, that is a good point.
Lever. That was a beautiful strike.
Oh man. Woo. I'm okay. So, oh yeah, and then you basically said it, because I was like, if the match is a draw, 70 minutes in, does Pep make the subs? I oddly enough think that he will. I think he will, and it will put the weaker people on, and he'll be like, yeah. And if they do end up losing, which I still don't see it happening, I could see him being like, yeah, I was worried about Saturday. I tried to get Sunday. They told me no, so this is what I had to do. And then just try to take the blame, try to flip it on them. But yeah, it's gonna. I'm interested to watch El Nasri because Steve was talking so positively about him, and
Mhm.
everybody else on the squad, I basically know who they are. Oliver Torres, I was really hoping that he ended up becoming a pretty solid player. Yeah, I mean, he's still fairly young, so he has plenty of time to grow. But I don't know, being on that squad, it's not the best. Who's what? How are you feeling about Palmer?
I feel confident in Palmer. I like what Cole does. I know he can do it. We saw him do it against Arsenal, right? Like the man has it. He has something. He has some sauce. He's definitely in the mold of a Grealish Mahrez type, right? Where you are not going to just run, but you are going to dribble. You are going to create. He chops in on that left foot. He has the ability. I think for him, the thing I always look for when you see a Foden and a Palmer in, and as opposed to the more experienced guys, is what decisions are they making in the final third? Are they
Mm.
looking for Haaland right away? Are they looking for themselves? Because it's not. I wouldn't even say being selfish or unselfish. It's just like what's your priority in that moment. And as we know, like Kevin De Bruyne really just said, I'm not shooting unless I have to now. Like my job is to feed the balls into Haaland, find him, get this going. And so if they look at themselves as creators first, I feel like that puts pressure on Sevilla's defense because nobody can keep up with Haaland in their back four. Those center backs will be in hell if they are able to play those balls in. And I'm sure on the training pitch, after the halftime coaching that Pep was seen doing to Haaland, it's like, hey, you're going to get your chances. We know we were going to find you. And I think Phil and Cole can do it. I do think Kovacic is going to be the starter, though. Like, what
Mm.
he can do, because it's interesting. Like, we always say replacing a player. He's not going to replace Gundo. He has his own set of skills and talents. And I would say that he's a better drip. Like,
Yes.
his thing leans into dribbling. He's supposed to move it up, attack, put pressure on the defense. And if you let him lay it off to Grealish and they work some of those 1-2s on the left, you can see a lot of things coming from that. Jack is definitely a wild card because we haven't seen him in a while on the pitch. And so, when Jack gets going, him against Jesus Navas, I'm going to take Jack Grealish. It's not
Yes.
Navas. It's Navas like, what, 35?
No, but it's true. No, it's
Yeah.
true. And I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about Jack Grealish eating Jesus Navas alive. Because it's just like he's gonna have to have help from somewhere. But the whole thing about City is taking advantage of open spaces, the half spaces. So if anyone comes to help him, Grealish's thing is getting the ball out. So I just either see a lot of fouls or Grealish is just gonna eat man's alive. Grealish, Foden, that 1-2, they're going to have a lot of fun together. I think in this match, this is also a good way to test the whole Foden as the faux Kevin in this situation is because I assume this is probably what's going to happen. This Kevin De Bruyne injury, I mean, hopefully Pep brings at least one more player in. But if he doesn't, obviously Palmer's going to get that nod and Palmer's going to get that time. And we're just going to have to learn with him and with the team and get adjusted to him and how he is with the team. This could also be the tryout. Like, this is the tryout of all tryouts for him right now. And it wouldn't even surprise me if Pep has told him that. Like, bro, you can either stay where you are or you can do great in this match. And we don't have to go get Doku. We'll trust you.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that point slightly, only
Okay.
because the, how should I say this? There's a world, right, where both Doku and Palmer can exist on the squad. There's a world, obviously, where if agree with the sources we've seen, and those sources normally are right, that like Paqueta and has already agreed to terms with City, and Paqueta, sorry, has already agreed with City, and it's just a matter of City stepping the offer up a little bit and saying boom. So it's like all we could actually be deeper than last season. By the time we get to 2024, when you bring Kevin back, because if you think of Paquetá replacing Kevin, that's a body for body swap, not skill for skill,
Mm,
body for
yeah,
body.
yeah.
And then obviously, if you want to bring in Doku, you would just say, hey, Doku's the one that's going to replace Mahrez because Palmer was already in the squad last year. So it's we always, I think, as supporters, we want to see a bigger squad, but then we also know a bigger squad, you have more players that don't play. So there's always that push and pull. But I know I said something on the pod last week about like seeing Palmer leave. If he left, great for him. Go get the experience. Go to Brighton. Go wherever. Right. If he stays, great for him. Okay, keep competing, keep pushing because that right wing spot will really could be yours because we might need Bernardo Silva to be in midfield more and not just play as a winger. Go back to more of an 8. So I like the opportunities provided. I will add this. I want to see how much our fullbacks get forward to create that overlap because you have Ake on the left with the left foot, you have Walker on the right, and we saw Walker do some really good work against Newcastle. So I wonder what Pep's tactics going to be allowing them to get forward, or will it just be one side? Because we've seen that at times where he will punish one side of the pitch, and it could be going at Acuna, who I think is more of a threat getting forward than Jesus Navas. And so you might say, hey, like go down go down Kyle, you and Palmer, keep pressure on Acuna, keep him pinned back. So really you have a back 3 of like Ake, Bardiol, and Akanji in possession. I could see that happening. So it's always interesting. Like we haven't seen a classic 4-4-3-3 in a long time. And so if it plays out as it looks on paper, it'll be interesting. But we know Pep could get there and somehow we're in a back 5. Who knows? Like we think could happen, but the ball man with the beard, he has the final say.
Yeah, and final thing before we do score predictions. Mahrez had just over 3,000 minutes last season. Doku had we talked about this, 1,500, and Palmer had like 700. They could easily split Mahrez's time, even kill like you in the 1,500 from Doku over there, and then you give Cole Palmer a few more starts, and then that splits his time evenly. You're very right. So I just wanted to make sure to give you your roses in the moment. Score predictions. I know we did it on the show, but people weren't there, and maybe you changed your mind because I did. I'm going even more. I think we skunk them. I think it's a 3-0, 4-0. I just think we put it on them.
I like 3-0. I feel like 3-0 is almost like a safe score because you're either saying in one half you get 2 goals, like in the first half you get 2 goals and then you manage the game and get one more to kind of top it off, or you're saying like, hey, 1 goal in the first half, we make it a halftime up 1, but really we could have had more chances, blah, blah, blah. We know all the cliches, and then you get 2 goals in the second half, right? There's also space for that sub to come on, and a fresh Alvarez against the tired back line. We saw what happened against Real Madrid with him and Phil. Yeah. So, as a sub for Haaland, so I really like 3-0. 4 wouldn't surprise me. Now, if it was close, I would be shocked. If we get the 80th minute and it's a 0-0 match, I would be like, whoa, this think something's interesting, something's happened. But all things considered, we should win this match by 3.
Hey, yeah. Do you know the odds for this match?
I do not know the odds, but I can tell you right now. Hold on. The odds for this match City are currently listed as -290 on the 90-minute money line. Draw is +400, taking it to penalties, and the over/under for total goals is 2.5. So I would definitely take.
Oh, I would for sure take the over.
50 at -190 at money line, and over 2.5 total goals. I feel like that's like a simple bet, and I might be playing it right away.
All right. Well, shoot. I am Crunk Chocolate. This is Sharpie. We are Shades of Blue. This is our kickoff show. Stay beautiful, Shady Gang, and come on, City.
Come on, City. See y'all tomorrow for Lit Stream.
Yes, tomorrow night, Lit Stream. Good job.
Look at you. City 405. Let's go.
Hey, I want the trophy too.